3 years ago on the Clash of Clans channel, Supercell posted a look at 3 new games that were all going to be under the Clash kind of universe IP. These were those 3 games. One of them was called Clash Quest, one of them was called Clash Heroes, and one of them was called Clash Mini. And this is what they looked like.
Today, for the first time ever, we are revealing 3 brand new games set in the Clash universe. Stay tuned.
Now, I remember when I saw these 3 games announced and I was looking at the gameplay for Clash Quest, I was like, just looking at this, I was just like, there is no way this game will be as good as Clash Royale or Clash of Clans or even Brawl Stars, man. Like, even though Brawl Stars is probably doing the best. I say even Brawl Stars, even though Brawl Stars is probably doing the best out of the 3 games right now. But like, it looks like I can see it kind of being like a Candy Crush kind of game where like, oh, this could find an audience, this could be cool. But I knew like, it's just no way it was going to be as good as Clash of Clans or Clash Royale. Having Worlds is kind of cool and having that. And so Clash Quest did not even get, it didn't even become a globally launched game. It was a beta game. And I launched in a few countries. They put all this effort into the design. They did a few updates and whatnot. And then it got fucking killed. Next game, Clash Mini. There was a lot of drama around this game. So this is the second game that we were talking about. It is pretty much like, it looks kind of similar in the sense that they're on like little squares there and they're attacking, but it's meant to be an auto chess battler game is what I think is like the style of game. And I thought this one was going to be my favorite out of the 3. I was like, oh, I could see this being like a real strategical game that I could get around with different arenas. It's kind of like Clash, but it's just a bit Clash Royale, but it's a bit different. I could see this being fun, but unfortunately it was just like, it was just nothing really. It was just a bit slow. Like you take time taking turns and they automatically battle. And I just didn't really like it. And so this game people thought were going to be globally launched and it did not make it. So that was an L. And now recently we have some news on Clash Heroes, which is the 3rd game. This is what this gameplay looked like. Now, this one is the one that everyone else seemed to think looks like the best out of the 3 games. And I, looking back at it now, have to agree. I mean, obviously, it looks like some kind of, I don't know, is it fair to say League of Legends, but on your phone type shit with Clash characters? Like, I can see this being kind of cool. This was the early footage gameplay from 3 years ago, and this is what it looked like. Now, it has come a long way since then, because apparently it's been deleted. Clash Heroes, we never got to see. We never even got to play. It didn't even become a beta game. Now, what it is called apparently Project Rise. They've re-announced, redone it, remarketed it as Project Rise. So let's see what they're saying here.
Okay, Julian, what happened to Clash Heroes and what is Project Rise?
Clash Heroes is dead. That's the bad news. The good news is that Project Rise is still a Clash game. And the better news is that it's now a multiplayer-focused action RPG.
So wait, Project Rise is not Clash Heroes?
Nope.
But it's set in the Clash universe and built from the ground up as a social action RPG roguelite.
That's right. You might recognize the art style and some of the assets from...
So if we compare this to this, it looks very similar, but a little bit different if we're looking at these 2 side by side.
Clash Heroes, but everything else was built from scratch. Clash Heroes was a single-player experience.
Wait, so what did he say just then?
Clash Heroes, but everything else was built from scratch.
It looks similar to Clash Heroes, but everything else was built from scratch.
Was a single-player experience. Project Rise is multiplayer first.
Incredible. So while some visual parts of Heroes are still around, the game is brand new. And it focuses on more of a social aspect and playing together with various characters rather than just you doing PvE dungeons.
In Project Rise, you'll be playing as a Clash character and teaming up with 2 other players to explore a mysterious place only known as the Tower. Each session takes place on a different floor of the tower, and teams try to get as high as they can.
So what is the plan now? When can we play Project Rise?
We're still very early, but we want to invite you to try out a pre-alpha version of the game and tell us what you think.
We're aiming to have our first playtest in early July.
And you can find the sign-up link in the comments below.
So there you go. It has gone from Clash Heroes to Project Rise, and they decided that they're not going for like a dungeon single player approach. I actually didn't know Clash Heroes was even a single player game. I thought it was going to be, I thought it would have been cool to have like the way it looked and the way it was, but then have it multiplayer as well. Why just make it single player? The whole reason Supercell games are good is because they're multiplayer. But now, yeah, like if we go back and we look at how this gameplay is looking.
I've always wanted to say that.
Put this on in the background real quick. I mean, so it looks like you and your like friend can like complete like levels and whatnot together, or do things together kind of type shit. And then this, I mean, it's pretty much the same, except this was meant to be like a single player, like verse dungeons. And honestly, it's a way better idea to do it multiplayer. Like for me, I can see this being kind of fun. And then there's Squad Busters, which is another Supercell game that kind of came out of nowhere. And once Clash Mini got killed, they decided, you know what? Squad Busters is the next big Supercell game. So they decided to globally launch this game. And I'm sure you've seen adverts for this game fucking everywhere. Squad Busters has been advertised everywhere, rammed down our throats. When I played this game on my channel for the first time, I thought it was a good game. I saw potential in it. I was like, this is kind of fun. But honestly, the replayability is kind of dead. Like, I would never grind. Well, maybe if they added the right updates, I could see myself really enjoying this game. But for now, that's just how it is. It's just kind of like, this was okay to play a couple times, but, you know, there are better games out there. Clash Royale's more unique. Clash of Clans is better. Fucking even Brawl Stars. I keep saying even Brawl Stars because I'm just... It is better because it looks very similar to Brawl Stars. But this also reminded me of, like, Project Rise or whatever, in the same sense it's characters running around like this, doing stuff. I don't know why it's called Project Rise. What a weird fucking name for a game. But yeah, so... there are other, like, versions of Supercell games that have come out. Like, there was this Moko game, which no one fucking played. There was this one, like, Heyday-esque game, Everdale. And then there was this other one that was, like, a Boom Beach ripoff. Very weird. I think this one makes sense. Here's the thing, right? I reckon the reason they put Squad Busters global, besides the fact that they like the game... let's be honest, it's not the best game, but I think the reason they did it is because it had all the Clash IP, like the whole thing, 3 new Clash games. They're like, okay, we know how much the Clash like IP is worth and how cool everyone loves the Clash characters. So let's just try 3 new games and fucking with the Clash characters, we'll see if they're going to be beloved. And so with Squad Busters is the same thing. They're like, oh, we can tie this into the Supercell universe. You know what I mean? We have the Brawl Stars characters in this game. We have the Clash characters in the game. It all just makes sense. The game runs smoothly. It's decent enough. So I think they were like, fuck it. Let's make this a worldwide game because it just fits it has its own like portal marketing. It just fits the Supercell brand very well. But here's the thing. Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, and Brawl Stars, I reckon if they were launched by different companies, if they were launched by different companies, I think all 3 of those games would have been successful by themselves. But these 3 Clash games that got killed, I mean, as soon as I took one look at all 3 of those Clash games, and I knew immediately they weren't going to be as good as any of the games they had released so far. That's just the truth of it. It seemed kind of rushed, kind of forced to try and fit the Clash package. But the thing is, if those 3 games, Clash Royale, Clash of Clans, and Brawl Stars, were launched by a different dev company, they would still succeed because they are good games fundamentally and people would enjoy them. Squad Busters, on the other hand, if it did not have this massive push, let's be honest, if Squad Busters did not have the massive Supercell push, the marketing campaign, the people behind it, the creators, and the ecosystem of players they already have, Squad Busters would be posted by some indie developer and it would just be mid. Like it wouldn't be like a #1 top chart game like it's going to be, or probably is right now. It just probably would. That's just the truth of it. So yeah, same with Project Rise. Who knows? My gut's telling me that it's going to be it's going to be kind of a mid game, but who knows? Who knows? I thought Brawl Stars was going to be mid when it came out. That's because it was vertical when I played it. Literally a completely different game. And that's the thing. I don't know if they're going to be able to save Squad Busters or make it crazy good. They really had to do a lot with Brawl Stars. They had to completely change the layout of the game. But yeah, that's what's happening in the Supercell game universe right now. So if you give a fuck about that, make sure to drop a subscription. And yeah, that's my 2 cents. Peace out, Girl Scouts.